Just got out of the shower, feeling super fresh. In honor of Valentine's Day, I scheduled a sucking appointment at 1:30. Pretty stoked about it. Nothing's better than just laying back and just getting sucked out and then everything being like right in the world again. I mean, at the ENT, because they're gonna suck out my ears because I can't hear because it's sinus infection and like help me with my nose. What did y'all think I was talking about? Y'all are nasty. Y'all are nasty. Yeah, I haven't been able to hear out of this ear for like a few days. And now the other one's getting worse. And it usually happens like once or twice a year. My ears will completely clog up. Just another wonderful side effect of having CF and sinus issues. Had to get a Monster on the way here. Stopped by this really sketchy gas station. I was pretty sure, like, there was a really like kind of lady who, I imagine she did meth for breakfast, was as the cashier. And as I was paying, like 2 dudes come out of the back, like randomly, also looking equally methy. And they were just kind of standing behind me. And I was like, damn it, they're gonna try to take my skin right now. They are gonna try to wear me Buffalo Bill style. Around me, like, what do I have for weapons? And my choices were lighters, lottery tickets, and those like horny goat weed pills that they sell that's supposed to increase your sexual ferocity, I guess you would say. I guess I could have like lit the lottery tickets on fire and threw it at them, or popped a bunch of like 8 of those horny goat weeds and maybe fought them off with like a massive boner. I don't know. But thankfully they let me leave in peace. They were really backwoods looking, and I have cologne on, so they probably thought I was one of them there gays, and they didn't want a gay skin. Cause we gonna wear someone's skin, but we ain't about to wear skin and someone think we're gay, okay? That ain't how we roll around here. But yeah, I made it, safe and sound. Now I'm gonna go get my ear douche so I can finally hear in stereo again. Daddy can hear again. My sinuses may be clogged, but my ears aren't, and it's glorious. So now I'm debating on if I want to just go ahead and go home, or go to McDonald's and buy like 86 small waters, and then drive around finding people who are being lovey-dovey since it's Valentine's Day, and throw the waters at them. I unfortunately ditched the idea of throwing water at Happy Valentine's Day couples. Now I'm just here, being the pooparazzi. So, I coughed all night. It was fun. It was so much fun. I would cough because of sinus drainage. I would get that under control. Then I would cough because it got too hot. And then I would cough just because, I don't know, my body was like, screw you, dude, you don't need sleep. So yeah, I don't feel the greatest right now. My lungs feel like deflated pancakes. And I'm supposed to go on a date tonight with this chick from Tinder. And I'm trying to like will myself to do it. I think I need to go to the store and buy a bunch of energy drinks or something so I can like, you know, get going. And I have to wash clothes because I need to look like a decent human. This is what I basically wear all the time. I do not care about fashion and have zero sense of fashion, but it hasn't failed me yet. But I figured I would go ahead and answer some of you guys' Q&A questions since you've gave me a ton of them. Also, I'm sucking on cough drops so I don't just continually cough. So sorry if I sound a little funny, but with no cough drops equal no vlog. That's another reason I'm contemplating this date or not. Like, do I want to go and have to suck on a cough drop all night? Because like, what if she gets in close? What if she wants to take it to first base? And then I'm just gonna smell like menthol. That's it. And you know what? You know what's not fun to kiss? Menthol. Go ahead and answer the 3 obvious questions that everyone asks literally every Q&A. They ask what my name is. My name is Morgan. They ask what my full name is. No. And then they ask how old I am. I'm currently 28. My birthday is in July the 8th. So send me cool stuff. The first one is from Shaylin Rollman. And I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of your names wrong. Sorry. Yeah, that's it, sorry. How does it make you feel that a lot of teens and people in general are vaping and smoking? One of my classmates vaped in front of me and I was like, do you not know that I have CF? and they said, it's not that bad. And I started coughing really loud so it'd feel bad. It didn't work. Crying, laughing face. It's whatever. Pretty much within 5 to 10 minutes of knowing me, you're gonna know that I have CF because of these reasons right here. Well, 2 reasons. Because CF needs to get out there, and 2, most of the population smoke nowadays, or vape, or do something like that. I don't care if you smoke or vape. I'm not one of those CFers that are like, oh my God, you're abusing your lungs. Everybody does things that aren't good for them. So it's just kind of like, as long as you do it away from me and you're not like blowing smoke in my face or something like that, I don't care. Like, do you? I'm not out to like change people's minds. If if someone like hears about CF and they're like, oh man, that makes me want to quit smoking. Awesome. But if they don't and they just want to keep smoking, then do you? Like, it's whatever. But just, people just know not to do it around me. Like, if someone lights up a cigarette near me, they lose that cigarette because I've become a master at snatching them and crushing them. I give them 1 warning. I get 1 warning to not smoke around me. After that, you're just gonna lose like $7 or how much you pay for your pack of cigarettes. Lori Jane Pui, maybe, something like that, asked, what is your favorite book? Into the Wild. Shining Shiny? Asked, did you get a wish from MakeAWish Foundation? If so, what did you wish for? Ho ho! This is a good one. It's story time now. So, growing up, I was a huge fan of like wrestling, like WWE and all that. And me and my neighbor down the street, which is, this is the house that I grew up in, and the neighbor down the street, well actually, his name was Cameron. I don't care if he sees this or not, because he was a dick to me as a kid. Cameron, if you're watching this, you were an asshole. But we were both obsessed with wrestling. Like, he would come over here for the pay-per-views because my parents had like back in the day, the illegal cards that you got all the channels, including the one with the boobies. And he would come up, and so whenever they all like had the Make-A-Wish on the table, I didn't want to go to like Disney World or whatever, because I was just never into that. I wouldn't go on a cruise because in my child brain, we were gonna hit an iceberg because I watched Titanic. Yes, a Caribbean cruise, we're gonna hit an iceberg. I wasn't the smartest child. And I got the idea that I wanted to meet a wrestler. I brought it up to my mom, and then she like logically talked me down because she was like, okay, you're gonna meet this person, they're gonna like sign some stuff for you, talk for a little bit, and that's gonna be it. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound as exciting as I thought it would be. Then, I'm pretty sure she helped me come up with the idea. She was like, why don't you go, like, ask for like something like, you know, like do you want like a TV or a computer or something like that? And then the gears started like turning in my little brain. Back up this story a little bit. My friend Cameron down the street, not only was he a huge, like, were we fans of wrestling and we hung out, but he was an asshole. He tortured me relentlessly. He used to call me names. Him and his friend used to beat the crap out of me. They used to prank call me from a church and tell everyone that I was sick and had AIDS, and they would make me cry. He wasn't that good of a kid. Not to mention his family had money, my family didn't, so any of the new wrestlers or any of the newest new shit that came out, Cameron had it and would rub it in my face. So, fast forward back to wish time, and my little brain as a kid, like, the ideas are churning. They're just churning along, and I'm like, huh, what about a shopping spree? And I kind of left it at that, because you have to write your little thing of what you want for your wish. Wish day came. I didn't even know it was coming. My mom and dad got me up and were like, hey, we're doing something today. And then all of a sudden there was a limo in the driveway. And I was like, oh, cool. But then the limo takes me to Toys R Us, and then the lady from Make-A-Wish like comes and introduces herself or whatever and hands me this check. And I can't remember, it was like for a couple $1,000s to Toys R Us. And I forget how old I was at the time, but oh my God. That was like, it may have well just been like $1 billion. Like, holy shit. So I went into Toys R Us and my ass went ham. Like, there used to be a little show during the commercial break of Nickelodeon, I think it was, where these kids would get these shopping sprees, but they had like 60 seconds or whatever to put as much stuff into their cart as possible. That was me. You know what? I was a huge nerd, so I went and like picked out video games and all that, but when we went down the aisle, like with the wrestlers and the figures for wrestling, I just kind of held my arm out and just dumped them all. Just hordes of wrestling figures, rings, fake belts, everything. All the stuff that me and Cameron were into that I knew his little jive ass didn't have yet. I was like, I'll take 8 of all of these. After that, it wasn't over there. After Toys R Us, they take my ass to Circuit City, hand me another check, and I'm just like, what do you do with this? So I think they thought that I was gonna be like, go get more video games or get more kid stuff. No, my little 4-foot whatever height ass marches into the electronics section and is like, I want that laptop, I want this surround sound, and I picked out the biggest flat screen, like big screen TV they had. Which back in the 90s, you know, that was like a friggin', that was a giant like box. Like, they were huge. And I was like, that one, give me the biggest one. And they were like, are you sure you want that? Yep, put it in, let's go, let's get out of here. I was like, I'm gonna invite Cameron up later, but I had to set up everything. I set this house up to where like, as soon as he walked in, he was just getting punched in the face by products. Like, it was like the ultimate revenge for all the torture that kid had bestowed upon me. So like, I had the big screen over there. I was sitting there with my laptop and all that. And so like, I called him. I was like, hey Cameron, you wanna come out and play? And he was like, sure, I'll be up there in a minute. So he comes riding his bike up here. As soon as he walks in, he was like, holy crap, you got a big screen TV? And I was like, yeah. And I'm like purposely sitting on the couch with my new laptop. And he's like, holy crap, you got a laptop? Yeah. And he's like, man, how did you get all this stuff? And I just looked at him and I was like, that's not all. Come with me. I had this big ass like Ethan Allen dresser thing, because my grandpa used to work for Ethan Allen. So all of our shit was like that rich wooden Ethan Allen stuff. And so, but the bottom drawers, there were like these 2 monster deep drawers in it. And I had stuffed it with as many wrestling figures as I could possibly hold. Took them all out of the pack and just stuffed them in there. He walks into my room and I was like, yeah, I got a couple new toys too. And just started like opening drawers. Just like, and his face, the look on his face at that point, it was the sweetest, the best moment of my life. Because you know what? They say money can't buy happiness, but damn it, that one experience as a child, you know, I think they're wrong. I think they're wrong. Because he was just like, man, how'd you get all this stuff? Make-A-Wish. I let him touch all the wrestling figures and like my ring and all my belts and everything. I just let him get a little taste and then I sent him home. So you know, let that be a lesson to anyone. Don't mess with the sick kids, because we got ways of getting back at you. You normal folks don't. That is my Make-A-Wish story. Full of tragedy, triumph, and revenge. Coming to a theater near you. Kennedy Maidment asks, what's your plan opinion as far as transplant goes? Are you eligible at this time or interested in getting the list? It's interesting to hear your stories of friends who've passed post-transplant, so I'm curious what the plan is for you. Best wishes from Canada. Hello, my Canadian friend. I love Canada. I can't speak on that because I've never been faced with that. My lungs are still far away from the point of needing a transplant. But say something happened. Say something happened tomorrow, where it happened quick. Like it was just a sharp decline in my lungs, and they came and they were like, transplant or die. I'm going to respectfully decline the transplant and just live out the rest of my days, you know, as free as possible. Just because, like you said, and I've talked about, I know so many people who have had a transplant that afterwards, you know, they've not made it through transplant. They've had horrible things happen after transplant. You can get a post-transplant type cancer. You're obviously like the lungs reject. Like I know three or four different people right now who are on the list for lung transplant who have already had transplants. And that's just not me. That's not like, it's not something I would want to go through. Now like later on in life, if I like had a wife and had other circumstances to think about, yes, maybe. But if I'm only thinking of myself, like I'm the only one who has to like think of this equation, no, because I have never and will never strive or want to be like the oldest living person with CF. because there seems to be like a common like thing where people with CF want to live as long as possible, no matter what, even if even if their health goes down to like 10% and they can't do anything except lay in bed all day. Which everyone's life is different. So it's not, they're not wrong, I'm not wrong, but for me, that's not living, and I don't want to trade one set of problems in for the other. Like, I know what I have with CF, like I'm used to it, that's life. Yes, it's gonna get worse, but that's whatever. I don't want to go through a transplant and risk those what if factors to get what. Like, most people who get a transplant get like 4 or 5 years off their lungs before they start rejecting. That's not everyone, but that's kind of like the common like timeline. And so it's just, nah, I'm good. So like I said, if it happened in the future and there were other circumstances, like I would probably consider it, weigh my options. But if something was to happen catastrophic anytime soon, they were like, you'd have to have a transplant or you're gonna die, I would just go skydiving or something and live my life to the fullest and go out in a blaze of glory. Because I'm not afraid of death. Death isn't anything except a continuation of the adventure. So no, at the moment, I would not consider transplant whatsoever. Tanya, nope, that's Tana Gibberson. We're gonna go with that. She asked, what YouTube channel do you watch and what is your favorite YouTuber? I watch a lot of different channels. Lately, one of my favorite YouTubers, more than one, is Squirmy&Grubs. If you guys haven't checked out their channel, you should, because they are friggin' relationship goals. It's these two people, Hannah and Shane. And Shane has SMA, which I think stands for spinal muscular atrophy, I think. Sorry if I'm wrong about that. Like, apologize. But they are just awesome and hilarious, and he just doesn't give a damn about his like condition. Like, he makes fun of it, they make fun of it, but they're just like legit relationship goals. Like, I'm basically, anytime I meet a new girl, I'm pretty much just gonna direct them to that YouTube channel and just be like, if you can't provide me with this level of commitment, we ain't gonna work. I've also been watching videos by Bethany, I don't know how to say her last name, Wilhelm, I think? Wilhelm? Mr. I can't pronounce anything. I really don't know how I found her channel. I think she just had like a random, like, it was like one of the recommended videos. Because whenever I'm like laying down at night, I'll just start going through the YouTube rabbit hole of like recommendations. And she was one of them. And I started watching her videos because she had to have like, she had to get like dental implants, but she was like getting fangs implanted, like not like vampire fangs, just like little things. And she was just really funny. Like, if someone's funny and has like a good sense of humor and all that, I'm like subscribed. I like watching funny people who don't take themselves serious. Like, I hate like the Logan Pauls or whatever their name is. I hate channels like that. Hate it. Like, oh, we're gonna be funny by like doing stuff that's really annoying. No. No. Don't like that. But that girl, she's really awesome. And her voice is like, it's very soothing. Like, she's funny and I listen to her voice and I'm just like, I'm gonna go sleep now. Louise Smith asked, what's the worst and best thing about having CF? The worst thing is definitely the medicines. Like, that's the worst. Just like, if you're having to travel somewhere, you always have to think like, how much of this medicine am I gonna bring? What bag am I gonna take to put all this medicine in? Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, as someone who is a minimalist and just wants to live in a van and I'm not about like material possessions. Like, people ask me all the time, if CF's cured, what's the biggest thing I'm gonna be stoked about? And it's being able to pack one bag. Just one bag. Not a billion medicines and machines and what have you. And the best thing about having CF gives you such a deep and meaningful perspective on life. I'm just kidding. The best thing about having CF is I can't have kids. Ladies, hit me up. I can't have kids. But that is going to be it for this Q&A. I have to jump off here and go wash clothes and I guess try to make myself a human if I'm going to successfully make it out tonight. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. If you want to, go to the community tab and where I have the post about the Q&A. Feel free to drop even more questions because I'll probably just kind of do like I was doing in the hospital, to whereas I'll film a vlog, but then I'll also answer a couple questions at the end of the vlog. Whenever I post about Q&As, I get so many questions and I end up not being able to answer a lot of them, and I feel bad. So just drop it there. Next vlog, I'll answer a couple. I'll just keep kind of knocking some out like every day. Be sure to follow me on social media. All my links are down here. And if you enjoy what you hear, please subscribe to the channel. But as always, thank you guys so much for checking out the vlog. I will see you guys on the next one. I love you all. Later.